feel the need to change until we hit that low spot, unfortunately. Just everything's going along fine in most areas, so you're not in a whole lot of pain. It's really pain, I think, that whether that's emotional pain or, health-wise, whatever that is, it's the pain that drives the change as much as, if not more than, the possibility of obtaining pleasure, getting something better in your life.
Danny, at this point in the show, we're going to take a brief break, and I remind our listeners that you're listening to The Secrets of Success. My name is Bill Horan. The show is produced at 90.3 WHPC at Nassau Community College. We'll be right back after this brief intermission.
This portion of programming on WHPC is brought to you on behalf of the Nassau County Bar Association, helping both the public and lawyers since 1899. They are the largest suburban bar association in the country. The Nassau County Bar Association offers clinics where you can meet privately with an attorney to prevent or solve legal problems involving Hurricane Sandy, foreclosure, wills, or elder law. Speakers on almost any legal topic are also available to schools or community groups. They can also help lawyers advance their legal careers and offer a place to network. Learn more about the Nassau County Bar Association by calling 516-747-4070 or visit nassaubar.org.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Secrets of Success. I'm your host, Bill Horan, and today we're speaking with Danne Reed, author of Fashionably Late. Danny, you have a great quote in your book, and I think it's on page 19. You say, on the road to great achievement, late bloomers will resemble a failure. Now, that doesn't make us feel too good, but it's kind of really true, right?
It's so true. That's, again, back to the societal pressures and things. We tend to undervalue what we ourselves have done and overvalue what other people have done. When we compare ourselves to others, we tend to come up short in our own mind, and even in a lot of cases, I've seen people who just did not discover or did not embrace their passion until later on in life. Like they tried different things, went after high-paying jobs that weren't necessarily something that they would enjoy, and didn't do well at it. Maybe switched jobs a lot. All of this can look like, on the external, it can look like, oh, she's messed it up again. She can't keep a job or whatever. And ultimately, when we find our way to what we're really passionate about, all of those failures along the way make total sense, and they actually contribute to finally being able to show up fashionably late as who we really are.
And in all honesty, I mean, let's take someone who maybe wants to be a teacher and goes back to school. If you get your teaching degree and start doing it at age 42 or 49 or 55, who's to say how late that is? You may use that degree and that knowledge for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You may use it privately, working with students, tutoring, doing special, maybe volunteer work, special classes, not-for-profit work. You could be the greatest teacher, lecturer ever, but if you don't get those credentials or go back or kind of refine the rough edges, you never know when you're going to have that opportunity, and you're certainly not going to get it 10 or 20 or 30 years later by waiting till you're 80 years old or 90. So do it now.
Yeah, absolutely. I love telling a story of, there's a woman named Nola Oakes who lives in Kansas, and she got her bachelor's degree when she was, I want to say it was right around 85 or 86 years old, and then 3 years later got her master's degree. She actually walked across the stage at graduation with one of her granddaughters. One of her granddaughters graduated. I
think I saw that story in your book, and I remember thinking, "Wow!"
Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful. I mean, she used the education then to. She works at the university where she got her degree, And, beyond just the good that she's doing by working and staying active and actually contributing her skill sets, think of the inspiration that she is and how many people have been able to look at her and say, oh my gosh, it's never too late to do whatever I want to do, So yeah, it's going to help someone.
Danny, I find I'm always inspired by someone else's quotes, and you have a lot of great ones in your book, but I think another one on page 23 is, you say, the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
And that's, of course, just what your whole Fashionably Late is about. Why are we here on Earth? Is it just to be a waitress? Is it just to go to work every day? Or is it to do something we really have a passion about?
Right. Well, and, maybe someone is completely and totally passionate about waiting tables, serving people food, making sure they get exactly what they want out of a dining experience. It is entirely possible that someone gets purpose out of that. Right?
Oh, and if they do, so long as they enjoy it. But I think what you're talking about is the person who's doing that rather than reaching for that dream and getting it. Yes,
exactly. And someone who's in that position because they feel like they don't have options to do anything else, right? It's two totally different scenarios.
Danny, I want our audience to once again know our guest today is Danne, spelled D-A-N-N-E, Reed, R-E-E-D. Her book is Fashionably Late. It's a series of books, very interesting and very inspirational. Danny, would you tell us the website and where we can get the book?
The website is just DanneReed.com, DanneReed.com. And the books are available pretty much everywhere. You can get them on Amazon. You can get online at Barnes & Noble. You can get them at Walmart.com. And you can also get them at brick-and-mortar bookstores. They might have to order them, but bookstores can order it as well.
Now, Danny, in your book, you have a lot of just short, I guess, not quite, a little longer than an anecdote, but maybe 4 or 5 pages on different people who reinvented themselves and made changes in their life. One of them was a Dr. Shirley Watson. Can you tell us a little bit about Dr. Watson and why you picked her?
Yes, Dr. Watson she is just an amazing person who actually continues even to this day to reinvent herself. She became a chiropractor when she was 42, and at the time that seemed late, right? Well, now I think she is late 60s or early 70s, and when I was working with her on the book, she told me that we were on the phone talking, and she was telling me that she had a little pain because she was learning how to kayak last fall. And I just thought, oh my goodness, what an incredible woman. She's now becoming a speaker at late 60s, early 70s. And so she has just continued to reinvent herself throughout her life. She's really, really an inspirational woman.
I think that's the part of the book that I like the most, because I think when we read stories about someone else, you keep saying, wait a minute, that person did this. That lady who graduated from college and then got her master's degree in her 80s or older. All of these people, if they can do that, why can't I just get the ball rolling? And it seems that once you take that first step, whether it's putting in an application and I think actually with Dr. Watson, if I remember, in her family it was discouraged. She was kind of told, one teacher told her you'll never go anywhere, and another one said you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, even her father, it was at a time when it was kind of frowned upon. Girls were supposed to
stay home and make dinner.
Stay home, make dinner, get married, have kids, and she was, from a very young age, she was always interested in wearing a white coat. She wanted to be a doctor, and so her father, again, well-meaning, right, but just looking out for her happiness, trying to say, well, maybe that's not such a great idea. And she was just determined that that's what she was going to do. So yeah, it's one of the points that you were making about like taking that first step. It really is initially about overcoming inertia, because we've had these beliefs in these passion assassins. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. Whatever that is, in our belief system for a long time, and so it's very hard. Like something sitting without motion, something sitting motionless. It's a little bit harder to get the momentum going. But once you do, it does become easier and easier.
And of course, once you've taken that first step, there is that little push behind you. You've got things going, and things start to roll. I want to wrap up with another quote that you have in your book from Oprah Winfrey. Difficulties come about when you don't pay attention to life's whisper. Explain that real quick to us.
Oh, just real quick. That's all about just those little things that keep popping up for you. As an example, mine was just writing a book. It just kept popping up. No matter how many times I would ignore it or tell myself that it wasn't meant to be, it just kept popping up. And if people get still and listen inside, they will hear their soul's calling. They will if they will just listen and ask themselves, even make a practice of daily asking yourself, what do I want to get out of my life? And just be quiet for a few minutes and listen. So
I love that quote, and I advise everybody get hold of the book Fashionably Late by our guest Danne, D-A-N-N-E, Reed, R-E-E-D. Give us the website real quick.
DanneReed.com.
Thanks, Danne. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Bill.
We'd like to remind our audience that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we'll continue our journey to success.